The studio lights were blinding. Cameras swiveled like hawks hunting for a moment of weakness. The air buzzed with electricity, not from the equipment, but from anticipation. On that night's episode of Real Talk Live, host Bill Maher sat at his desk, eyes glinting like a man who had rehearsed this moment in his head 100 times. Across from him sat Congressman Adam Schiff, calm on the surface but visibly bracing for impact. No one in the audience knew they were about to witness something that would shake the room to its core. Bill leaned forward, lowering his voice to a hush that somehow made it more powerful. "Congressman," he said, "America's been told one version of events. But tonight, I have the documents. And I want you to explain them, live, unedited." The studio fell silent. Even the usual murmurs of stagehands seemed to disappear. Schiff's brow creased, his practiced politician's smile faltering. The audience could feel the tension, like a string pulled so tight it might snap. As Bill began reading from the papers, his voice carried a weight that wasn't just political, it was personal. The documents revealed inconsistencies in statements Schiff had made over the past year, especially about decisions affecting everyday Americans. People at home watching the broadcast felt a chill run down their spines. The man they'd been told to trust now stood cornered under the hot lights of truth. Schiff attempted to respond, words tumbling out, trying to reframe, redirect, deny. But Bill wouldn't let go. He wasn't there to humiliate, he was there to expose, to peel away the varnish of rehearsed talking points. "This isn't about politics," Bill said sharply. "This is about honesty. People deserve to know who's telling them the truth." The crowd, initially uncertain, now sat frozen. Some clutched their hands to their mouths. Others leaned forward, eyes wide, as if witnessing a courtroom climax. A young college student in the front row later described the moment as watching a dam break, something bigger than politics finally bursting through. And then, in an almost cinematic moment, Schiff sighed. His shoulders sagged, and his eyes drifted downward. "You're right," he muttered softly, barely audible to the microphones. The confession wasn't complete, it wasn't a full admission of guilt, but it was enough to signal that something had cracked. Bill Maher paused, gave him a chance to explain. For the first time that night, the conversation turned human. Schiff spoke of pressures, expectations, and the fear of losing power. Bill listened but held the line, reminding viewers that public service meant accountability. The audience's shock slowly turned into something else, a collective reckoning. People began to clap, not out of partisanship but out of recognition. The truth, finally aired, even if messy and painful. A standing ovation built, not for Bill or for Schiff, but for transparency itself. The crowd wasn't cheering a takedown, they were cheering a breakthrough. After the show, social media lit up. Clips of the confrontation went viral. People debated fiercely, but many agreed on one thing: the moment felt real. In an age of spin and spectacle, authenticity had briefly taken center stage. Letters poured into the studio from viewers saying they felt inspired to demand honesty, not just from politicians, but from themselves and their communities. In the days that followed, Schiff announced a renewed push for bipartisan ethics reforms, surprising even his critics. Bill Maher, meanwhile, used his platform to launch a series on Truth in Politics, highlighting officials from all sides. What began as a heated confrontation evolved into a national conversation about accountability and empathy. The inspiring message that emerged wasn't about one man winning or another losing, it was about the power of truth to reset the course of public life. In the end, the episode showed that courage isn't just exposing someone else, it's facing uncomfortable realities together and committing to do better. As the credits rolled that night, the studio lights dimmed, and the audience filed out, still whispering about what they had seen. In a time of division, one live broadcast had reminded people of something simple but profound. Truth matters, courage matters, and change, real change, starts when somebody, somewhere, dares to speak up.